We're live, I think. Let's write some code today. This is going to be fun. So what we're going to be doing is we're trying to make sort of this AI-powered search. So there's this tool called Typesense, and they are actually the sponsor of this stream. More on them later. Super cool. But we're going to be using them to write some sort of custom code for something really cool. So lightning fast, open source search. And essentially what this allows you to do is to have some search, like this is a recipe search on their website. So I could do something like chicken, and you can see it sort of instantly fills this out. So they have 2.2 million sort of items in this database, and it's able to search effectively instantly. So it's just a very, very fast way to search, and it's open source. But they have this demo that's really, really cool. And what it does is it allows you to use AI to search through something. So for example, this is a database of cars, and I could say something like newest sedans, V8, above 300 horsepower, best gas mileage. So let's click this. And basically what it does is it uses AI to create the actual query that it's going to send to the database. So it takes a minute. That's because of the AI. You can see this is the actual query it made, and we can see the results. So kind of a cool concept to have essentially natural language search, and they've made it very, very easy. So what I wanted to do was build a natural language search using stocks. So you can do this with a lot of different data, but what we're going to be doing is using this S&P 500 stocks data set from 2025 on Kaggle. So here you can see we have company names, ticker symbols, the opening and closing prices of every day, and the trading volume. And what I actually thought we could do is we could take this data and sort of combine it with this data as well, which has information on the actual company itself. So what sector they're actually in, where they are located, and when they were added to the S&P 500, as well as when they were founded. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're going to be writing some code, and hopefully this time, because when we've streamed recently, a lot of the code we've written has sort of felt like we're just letting AI do everything. So we're not going to do that today. We are going to be using Cursor. We will be using AI for some things, but hopefully we'll be doing more things manually as well and getting sort of a more realistic idea of what coding should be looking like right now. All right. There's the intro. How'd we do? Sounds good. Hello. How y'all doing, y'all? Okay, so it's been a while since I've streamed too, so it'll be interesting to see how many people we actually get in here. All right, so what should we do first? I think the first thing we need to do, so let's open up Cursor. So I can show you the data set. So this is the S&P 500 one, and here you can see, or this is like the main one with all the actual like numbers. So you can see the company name, the ticker, and then it has opening and closing dates and volume for basically every single day. So it has a ton of data in it. And then we have this one, S&P 500, and this is a little bit cleaner. So it has the symbol, the security. We can see like these sectors. So for example, this is a healthcare company that makes healthcare equipment. We can see the headquarters location, the date added, and here is the date founded. All right. Hey, I'm preparing for summer intern, and mostly I need to learn ML. What should I follow? Roadmap or anything? If you want to learn machine learning, I mean, it depends what exactly it is you're trying to learn, but I would probably just try to find some kind of course that aligns with like the work that you expect to be doing. But I can't tell you like specific things that you need to be learning. It's kind of hard for me to say. But regardless, congrats on the internship and good luck. All right, so I think what we should do is let's set up Typesense first, and then we can do sort of some data wrangling on this. So let's go back over here. I guess I could full screen this. All right, so let's go to Typesense, and there's a quick start guide, and then we have Typesense Cloud. So I'm going to go to Typesense Cloud. So essentially this allows you to run Typesense on their cloud. It is open source. You don't have to use this, but I think it's the easiest way. So what I'm going to do is come to my account. I have a cluster here that I actually was just playing with yesterday, but I killed that cluster. Let's make this a lot bigger. So what we can do is we can say new cluster, and there's some options. We can choose how much memory it needs. We can choose CPUs if we need high availability, search delivery networks, which it says is like a CDN, but for search, what region we want. Oregon is fine. The version of Typesense, and there's some other stuff we can do. And you can see how much it actually costs. So the first 720 hours is free, as well as the first 10 gigabytes. And then this is the pricing. And if we change stuff, you'll see the pricing goes up or down based on what we change. But we'll just go with the defaults for now and click launch. Question, how would you break this down into manageable steps? Well, that's sort of what we're going to be doing. So the way I think about this, let's go over here for a second. Let's full screen this too. All right, let's just say new file steps.txt. All right, so if we think about like all of the stuff we need to do, let's just like make a list. We need to combine our CSVs. We need to get the data in Typesense. We need to create a user interface. And did I spell that right? Yeah. We need, is that it? What else do we need to do? Oh, we need to actually, so getting the data. All right. So let's think about this sort of as like our big steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's come down here and say like step 1, set up Typesense cloud cluster. Step 2, we can put basic data in cloud cluster. Step 3, we can test searching on basic data. Step 4, add more data with second CSV. And then step 5, create UI for search. So sort of what I do is basically that, like literally just think like, what are the things I need to do? And then just sort of break them down into steps. And you can break these down into even smaller steps if you want. All right. Get this. I have an intern position as a Python developer. I'm still in high school. That's awesome. But my passion is web development, React, and Laravel. Should I try to find more suited internship or stick with this one? I mean, having an internship in high school is like the biggest W of all time already. So I wouldn't worry too much. Like you got a lot of time. Okay. Wrong way. This way. Let's see. So we have our cluster is being initialized. Okay. So it says it's going to take 4 to 6 minutes and then we'll be able to get our API keys. All right. So while that's happening, what we can do is let's go ahead and just like create an application. So, because right now I just have these files chilling here. Let's open up a terminal and I suppose, what is it? Is it Vite or Vite init? That's not what I wanted to do. We did not want to run Vite. All right, let's get rid of this. How do you create a new, I haven't done this in so long. Is it Vite init? Vite init, Vite create, init. Clearly it's not init. Okay, how do you, how do we create a React thing? Or should we use Next or React? I don't know. I keep going the wrong way. All right, let's say, do we want to use Next? I feel like we don't really need Next.js for this, but we could use it. Fine, we'll use Next. Next.js. Docs. Initialization. Let's use this. How do you create it just with Vite? Am I crazy? Is there not like a Vite init command or something? Anyways, npx create. What does -yes do? Skips prompts using saved preferences or defaults. The default setup enables TypeScript, Tailwind, ESLint, App Router, and TurboPack with, that's fine. All right, but we don't want to call it my app, but that's okay. We'll go here, change it from my app to Typesense demo, and then -yes. All right. One more. Do FANG companies ever hire someone from a third world country on remote jobs? I don't know. I think it probably depends on the country and the job. I can tell you, I don't think there's any that are going to give you like a US based salary if you're not in the US. no matter where you are, whether you're in like Western Europe or somewhere with much lower cost of living. I don't think it matters. I think outside the US, you're going to get different pay scales, but I'm sure some of those companies do hire in presumably what country you're in. It depends what country you're in, I guess. Need to install the following packages. That's okay. There we go. Typesense demo. Oh, I guess we also need to add a step here. So let's say test searching on basic data, and then let's say for implement, we'll call it the natural language search with, I guess we'll use like GPT or some AI. And then let's come down here and say, oops, update these. All right. Okay, so we have our Typesense demo. Let's do, fine, I'll update npm. All right. Typesense demo, npm start, npm run dev. There we go. Localhost. Come over here. Oops. All right, how do we get this? I'll do this. All right, hold on. Let's go here, like that. Where did our local host go? There it is. There it is. All right, there we go. Next.js is open. That was embarrassing. All right, let's go back to Typesense. All right, so our cluster is ready to use. We can click generate API keys. And this is going to generate for us 2 different API keys. Cool. And we can see some like usage data. All right, so what should we do first? I think what we should do, let's generate these API keys. It's going to download a file. So I'm going to do is come over here and let's create a new file .env. And let's put our API keys in here. I guess I can make this a little bit bigger, right? Do that. I'm not really using that right now. This smaller. Okay, so now we need our API keys. Obviously, I need to do this not on screen. So what I'm going to do is bring this over here. And I need thing I just downloaded. Let's see, is this going to open on the right monitor? It does. Okay. So I'm going to get 2 API keys. So there's an admin key and there's going to be a read only key. That's one thing that Typesense says that's pretty cool is it gives you 2 different API keys. So one is read only and the other is not. So what's cool about that is with the read only key, you can pass it to the front end so that your front end can use it. And then you have the admin key that allows you to actually add stuff to the database. All right, let me close this before I accidentally leak those keys. I suppose it's not that bad if I leak those. There's probably worse things to leak. I've probably leaked worse things, let's be honest. All right, API keys acquired. Let's now create a hey, good day. LOL. All right, good day. So let's create let's just make like a post endpoint that can allow us to upload the data. I think that's probably gonna be the easiest way to do it. I'm actually going to have our good friend over here, GPT, do this. What should we use? Can I use Gemini 3 now? Is Gemini 3 actually that good? I know people are saying it's really good. Let's use Gemini 3 for a bit. All right, so let's say create the boilerplate for an API endpoint that is going to be used to upload data. All right. I don't want it to actually write the endpoint, but it's just going to be easier than me creating the file and stuff. I do love how Cursor now has like to-dos and stuff. And just like this general direction that a lot of these AI tools are going, where it's sort of like does things step by step. Big fan of that. All right, it looks like we ran a command. Nice. Hello. All right, thought for 1 second route. There we go. Let's say keep all. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so we have a request here. Oh, it's still doing stuff. Is it not done? All right, so while that finishes, keep going the wrong way. I'm just gonna close this way. Let's go to here. So they have pretty good documentation for this. So basically, we're going to follow the documentation. Crazy how that works. So this documentation is for creating this cars search. We're going to be doing something similar, obviously, but just with our own data. All right. So setting up a project, we are going to need to install Typesense. Is this using Next? I guess so. All right. So let's come over here. Let's get a new terminal window and install Typesense. Okay, Typesense is installed. Next, initialize Typesense client. So you'll see it mentions that there's 2 API keys. I guess I make this even bigger. We have the search only API key and the backend key with admin access, or with write access. So I called this the admin key, and this one I think I called something. I forget. But this one is like the read-only version, and then there's this one. All right, and I got those from Typesense Cloud, but you don't need to. So this is sort of the client code here. But what I need is to create the collection. So what I might do, I suppose we can just copy this client code. It's probably fine. Let's do that. All right, so let's come over here. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paste this up here for a second. So we have it. Get rid of that. All right, so we've got our import. We also don't need this anymore. That's distracting. Oh, I didn't want it to go completely away. Come back. I miss you. Appearance. Secondary sidebar. Okay. It's back. I was sad for a minute. Okay, so we have Typesense is server is, I suppose, true here. I don't know if this is really where this code should be. I feel like this needs to be somewhere else. This should be in like some kind of just like Typesense file. Let's do that. Let's make a file somewhere. Where do we think this goes? Let's put it here. It's fine. Typesense.ts. And now we can go here, there, like that. This server and default. Yeah, we can make that be true. I guess we need to name this something else. It's going to be confusing because this is also called Typesense. So let's say, well, I guess it's fine. Let's call it use. No, use makes it look like a hook. Let's say get Typesense. I feel like that's a terrible name. This also needs to be formatted, I think. There we go. Okay, so expert const Typesense is server is false. And then we get a new Typesense client API key. What did I call these? Dot. Oh, it doesn't autocomplete that. I think I called it. Let me just open this on the art monitor real quick to see what I called the API keys. I forget. I called them admin key and read only key. Admin key, read only key. So admin key. I guess this should be next public. Read only key. All right, let's add next public to that real quick. Need to once again do this. Oops, that didn't work. Come over here. Dot env. Next public. That. All right, we're back. I have a question, sir. I have an answer, sir. Maybe. I might not. I don't know what the point of this or XYZ thing is. That feels, I guess, just like if you can't find one. That's fine. I'll just leave it. Nodes. Next public Typesense URL or localhost 8108. What is the Typesense cloud URL? It's on here somewhere. Let's see if we come here. Does it say it somewhere? In the docs somewhere. I saw it the other day. We might need to go to here. xxx.a1.typesense.net. Is it that? Wallpaper so beautiful. Isn't this the default? How do I go back to it? It won't even let me go back to it, but I'm pretty sure that is the default wallpaper on Mac OS. New Typesense client. So we've got nodes, API key, and I don't know if we need a connection timeout, but let's copy this real quick. Let's make this our nodes. So let's go here. Let's go like that. Nodes. Comment that out for a second. So is it literally XXX? Or is it like, or does this need to be replaced with something? Let's see. Let's go back for a second to natural language search. Actually, let's go back to cloud. It's got to say it somewhere in here, right? Auto capacity upgrade, specs, server parameters. Interesting. Oh, you can also add collections just like this way too, but I'm just going to do it in code because it feels cooler to do it with code. API keys, cluster configuration, overview. Oh, I think it's this. Yeah, it's this. And then we need 443. There we go. Host is that. Port 443. Protocol HTTPS. There we go. All right. Get rid of these comments. Who needs comments? All right. There we go. Nodes are good. We don't need quotation marks here. That looks funny. I guess I'll leave them here because they're there. If I just do format, will it remove them? No. Okay. Anyways, this should work. Should I call this get Typesense? Get Typesense? Because it is a function. All right. There we go. So now, oh gosh, we don't need that. But we can say import get Typesense. Come back up here. All right. Now, we need to get our CSV and we need to push it to Typesense. Let's see how to do that. Go here. There we go. Let's copy this. Make some space, paste all that in there. Let's also, we don't need that. We can make this smaller. All right, so we can say const typesense equals get typesense is server true. The expression is not callable. Client. Is this using this? Is that the idea here? See if we do like type sense dot. Okay, yeah, we don't need the is server true thing because it's doing that. All right, so we can do just that. I think. All right, now instead of cars, we're going to have stocks and fields. We will have ticker. Oh yeah, so that's kind of goated. Okay, so just so y'all know, so this is basically giving Typesense a schema for what we are actually going to be uploading. But what's interesting here is you can actually upload whatever you want. And it's just going to store those documents. These are specifically the indexable fields. So these are the fields that Typesense is going to be able to actually use to quickly search, but we can upload other stuff. So the only things we need to do here are the things that are actually going to be searchable. And then this facet true thing, is basically saying that this is sort of like a categorical thing that they can be like grouped together. So for example, the make of a car or the model of a car versus, I think that's what it is. I might actually be wrong about that. Let's see what it says facet is before I think I might actually have been entirely incorrect with what I just said on the facet part. It's in the building is go here. Facet. For each field, we define a facet field allows us to cluster the search results into categories and lets us drill into each of those categories. Okay, so I think I was actually correct. So they're like more categorical things. Okay, yeah. So it basically allows you to make a category. All right. I wasn't just making stuff up. That's exciting. Usually I am. So let's go back to where we were. Cars. All right. So what do we actually need here? Let's start with just the stuff we have in. Let's go with whichever of the CSVs was simpler. Maybe this one. All right. So let's go with this data. Copy that for a second. All right. So we've got symbol. And we don't need facet true on this one. We got symbol. Oh, it's literally just auto doing that. That's awesome. All right. I don't know. Let's actually pull this up again. What was security? So that's like the name. And then we have SEC filings. I don't think we need. The sector is good. We can just leave that with that name, I guess. So we got sector, sub-industry, headquarters location, date first added. I don't think we need this. And then let's go with founded. And what are the types allowed here? Is there like a date type? Let's find out. Does this have any dates? What do they use for dates? Years, it has int 32. Let's see. Data. What do I see? Just like the different types. Are these all the different types? Search for date. Dates and times. There's no use Unix timestamps. Okay. Fine. As described here. Unix timestamps and stored as int64 fields in Typesense. Okay. So we need. Oh, actually, is founded just years? That's just a year. It's not even a date. So let's go here. And founded is just a year. So this we can do int 32. And then date first added int 64. So this is going to be Unix timestamp. And this is going to be a year. This is the ticker. And that's the name. I think the others are self-explanatory. All right, so now we don't need any of these guys. Let's get rid of that data. All right. And by the way, I'm doing this in like a post request. Really, this is code that probably only needs to be run one time, but it's just kind of the easiest place to put this right now. So that's where I'm putting it. All right, so there's that. Let's format this. Get rid of this to do. All right, so we have our collections. Sure, we can add some error handling. Does this return a promise, I assume? Yeah, it does. All right. Cool. Go back here. We need to go back to where we were. Oh, I don't have any more back buttons. What were we looking at? Natural language search. There we go. Create the Typesense collection. Now we need to index the data. Let's see. So this part. All right, so we need to read the CSV. So let's come down here and say I'm just going to do this with Gemini. Add a function that reads the sp500.csv file from, I'm just going to copy this, copy the whole path from this location and saves it in, do we need JSON? I think. What is JSON L? Is that a what is the difference between JSON and JSON L? I've never heard of that in my life. I love JavaScript. Hey, JavaScript's the best. Why do we have so many message retracteds? What are we retracting? Okay, so what is JSON L? I actually have no idea. Is it text-based for JSON L versus JSON? Images? It's just JSON? All right, we're just gonna tell it to use JSON L or JSON lines. And can I tell it where to put it? Because it's fine. Add a function to API/upload/route TS. There we go. Let's see what old Gemini 3 comes up with. I'll be honest, I have not done any like data stuff with, what are we installing? Pop-up parse. All right. I've not done any like data parsing in JavaScript in a long time, so I have no clue how to do this. I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty similar to what they were doing in the docs. So I think we want probably something like this, but this is JSON. I want to read in a CSV. Oh my gosh. No way that this is the most efficient way to do that, right? There's no way that there's not just like an import statement for this. Come on, JavaScript, don't do this to me. I mean, there's no way. I refuse to believe that this is the best way to do this. Is there not a library you could have imported to do it? Hello, hello. Hi. There's no way that, that this is how we have to do that. I refuse to believe that that is how you create whatever JSON lines are. Sure. Didn't it already install that though? You already ran that. All right, this looks a little bit better. This is more manageable. I love AI. All right, file content, read file. pop a parse file content, skip empty lines, transform header, transform. All right. Results. So we're just trimming stuff, and then we have errors. We error. Results. Okay. So this makes it JSON-L, I guess, by just like adding new lines, I suppose. Await write file. I mean, I don't need to write a file. Those results. Let's just return JSON-L content. And then we don't need to write this file. All right. Why did it change this part? All right, so that we can keep. This we don't need. Okay. So let's say get S&P 500 data. So let's come down here now and let's say get that data. All right, let's get rid of all these empty lines. But for now, what I want to do, comment that out. So I'll log that. All right, now what's the easiest way to test this? Let's just ask this. What is the easiest way to run the post request? Should be a way to just run it from the command line. I just don't know how to do it. What's your favorite model so far? I don't know. Right now we're trying Gemini 3 Pro. To be honest, all the like good models feel kind of the same to me. Oh, this is way too much work. I don't want to do that. I thought there'd be an easy way to do it. All right, let's do this actually. Let's have it create a UI, just like a button for this. All right, so let's say agent mode, create a button on the front end that when clicked calls this post request. That should work. Really, there was no reason to make this a post request at all. I was trying GPT 5.1 Codex Max or something. The only one they released yesterday. Pretty good so far. Nice. Yeah, I haven't tried coding with GPT 5.1. I've used it like on Chat GPT just to ask random questions, but I've not coded with it yet. Like, why are we adding all these styles? You don't need all that. And like, why are we change? I do think what I'm seeing from Gemini 3 is it has a tendency to overdo stuff. Like, this is not what I asked it to do. Why are we changing the size of this image? But I don't really care about anything on this file, so it's fine. What did it change in the other file? Oh, it created this button that calls this. We have nothing in the body. That's fine. Success, status, idle. Sure. And a bunch of styles we don't need, but okay, this is fine. This is fine. We can come over here. All right, so now we have this, which should call that function. We go to our route. What I want to see is this, which should, when we press it, show up in the terminal, I believe. Let's actually open up the inspector too, just in case. Console. Cannot resolve Typesense. That's great. Where is this? It's in our get Typesense thing. Module, is it? But it's right there. New terminal. npm install Typesense. It was already there. npm install. What? Cannot resolve Typesense. All right, let's see. I'm not exactly sure. Is there something I was supposed to import that I didn't import? All right, let's see. Add to chat. Why am I getting this import module not found error? It seems to like to run the same command over and over again. Which is interesting. I've already done this. Do I just need to restart stuff? That might be it. Oh, I guess I just need to restart. All right, then. Looks like we have data, a lot of it. Nice. All right, so now we need, there was one thing in here. Oh, we need to convert the date first added into a Unix timestamp. So let's say here, add to chat. There is a date. What is it? Date first added. Convert it to a Unix timestamp. Also, why are there like spaces in here when, how did that happen? Where's our CSV? Oh, it's because this has those. All right, so what I want to do, I think we want to make this like underscore notation instead. Let's just do this manually. Symbol, security, SEC, filings, GICS, sector, GICS, sub, industry, headquarters, underscore location, date first added, CIK, bounded. All right. Let's convert that to Unix. I actually have no idea how to do that. This is what AI I think is so good for, stuff like this, because I don't know how to do that. Okay, so close enough. What keep, but date string, row, date first added like that. I don't know why we're now using this. Formatting is very strange, but whatever. It's fine. All right. Date string, date, new date. If is in get time. Row equals math.floor date.get time divide. I'm just going to assume that that works. All right. Seems legit. Let's come over here. Actually, what I want to do, I'm here for a second. Do it like that. Go clear. Run that again. Process this data. Date first added. And we've got like this timestamp. Let's go. Here we go. Unix time stamp. Converter. Convert. Oh, wait. At. Convert. Okay, that seems legit. 2013 seems like a reasonable time, so that probably worked. Okay. Nice. So now we have that. So now what we can do, I believe, is let's go ahead and push this to Typesense. So let's say create. I think that's a. I suppose create's fine. We just don't. This is fine. All right. Collections, create, stocks. And then we need to actually add the data to it. Let's go back here. I guess we can do this one at a time. So let's do this real quick. Yeah, let's just run it like this. And let's see if we create our collection. Let's go here. Done. Let's go to Typesense now. Go to our cluster. Refresh this. Collections. Nice. So we have our stocks collection. Nice. And you can see we can query by these ones that we had, I believe are the ones we marked as. Oh, no, we actually didn't mark any of them as. Okay, you can query by any of them. I guess we can mark some of these as. What was the. Yeah, facet. So let's see. We could do like facet true here and on the sub industry and location. Let's do that. That seems reasonable. So I'm curious if I do this again, is it going to replace the collection? So we're about to find out. Does it like work as like an upsert or does it process? Okay, that was quick. So if we go now to secured sector facet false. Okay, so I did not replace it. How do I replace the schema? Collections dot maybe update. All right, let's look on the docs. Go update schema. Collections.update. Client.collections. Okay, so now we got to do stocks update like that. All right, so if we do that, and now we come back over here and we click this again. Now we come back to our cluster, refresh. Did that not work? Oh, I have to drop it and then add it. I see. Where was it? You need to do that. All right, so we need security. This one should be our sector, sub-industry, date first added. Oh, wait. We got sector, sub-industry, headquarters location, date first added, and then founded. So we're just going to drop everything and then add them back. I drop things all the time. All right. There we go. Save that. Come back over here. Come there. Process data. Refresh this guy. All right, there we go. Facet true. Nice. All right, so we have that. Let's come back over here now. So now we can add the actual data. So let's add this. So instead of logging that, let's actually add it to the collection. Which, how did we do that? Let's go back to here. There we go. All right, so now we can do Typesense. We don't need that. Collection stocks, documents, import, and we need the S&P 500 data. All right. Semicolon. And I suppose we don't really need to do this anymore. So just comment this out. Really, this should just be in a script. There's no reason for this to be in an API endpoint. But let's just do that. Let's clear out that. On this again. All right. Data saved. That doesn't look like that worked. Let's see. Try this again. I feel like that shouldn't be that quick. That should not be like instantaneous. Why is that going so quick? Okay. Oh, I guess it's because we're not actually waiting on it. But doesn't matter, but let's await it. Documents count 0. There's no errors. Is there an error here? Nope. Let's go log that, make sure that that's okay. So that data is good. S&P isn't looking so good right now. True. It's not great. It's been a rough one. Get S&P data. Why does this not work? Back to the docs. Be sure to increase connection timeout seconds to at least 5 minutes or more for imports when initiating the client. Oh. Does this actually take that long? Okay, so maybe that's the issue. Oh, they did it. Error. Maybe we should add some. That error handling. Connection timeout seconds is only 5 right now. It said 5 minutes. So 60 times, let's do 5 times 60 is 5 minutes. No way this takes 5 minutes, right? No shot. All right, back over here. I mean, it says it's done. But clearly it is not. It's not timing out. Let's go back here. Collections, stocks, documents, import. Or an array of document objects. What theme extension are you using? I have no idea. Settings, themes, color theme, cursor dark. Okay. Import documents string. Return a JSON-L string if the import was a JSON. Otherwise, it returns an array of results. All right, let's see what it's returning. So let's go. Do that. And let's not do that. And let's clear out this. It's easier to see again. It's kind of comforting seeing an experienced dev struggle with code. I mean, that's like the whole process of coding is struggling with it. That's all you do. Oh, there you go. Error. Okay, code 400 error field founded must be an int. Well, there we go. Problem solved. We need to change that to an integer, I guess. So let's say const founded string row founded, if founded string, founded equals, we don't need this. Say row founded %. Using an integer for a year, I guess it's fine. All right, that should work. Try this again. Okay, so they mostly worked, but some didn't. I have this idea that good devs don't struggle that much. They just figure stuff out easily. Yeah, that doesn't happen. I feel like I thought that for a long time too. And then the first time I saw like a senior engineer spend all day trying to do something extremely simple. So I wonder, why are some of these failing? Like most of them aren't, but there's just like, that's so weird. Let's see how many, we should have 500 things, I suppose. I think there's presumably 500 rows. Let's see how many we actually got. 442. Okay. Progress. But why, like, why are some of these not working? So date first added must be int 64 and date and founded my. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 8 from the bottom should be the one, assuming this went in order, which I think it did. All right, so we should have, let's see which one didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one? Wait, does it just not? Oh, the data's not there. Seriously? Wait, let me open this in something that can view this better. Let me just do this. I'll open this on another monitor real quick. And I'll bring it over to y'all. We need document, that one, that one. There we go. All right, so here's that data. All right, so some of them just straight up don't have these dates. Love that. So date first added and founded can be null. Great. How do I make these nullable? All right, so let's go to the Typesense collection. Do this again. Date first added. The fields. I will need it to be nullable. Optional. There we go. All right, founded. Optional is true. And date first added. Optional is true. Okay. So date first added can be optional and founded can now be optional, I suppose. Let's see. This is going to make new documents, which I don't. Can I get rid of all the documents programmatically? Is there a way to do that? Documents dot delete. Is there like a delete all? Doesn't look like it. Probably good that that doesn't exist. All right, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what the best way to do that is. So let's just go over here. Somewhere. Cluster. Collections. I think we can just delete this collection. Let's just do that. Well, I don't really want to delete the collection. Delete documents. Delete all documents. There we go. They're gone. Okay, so now we can come back over here. Oh, that doesn't need that. All right. We should, if we do this again, click our little magic button, saved, cluster, collections. Oh, it's still 442? Really? Founded must be an int successfuls. Oh, I think it's probably putting. All right, so I think what we want is, if that doesn't exist, we need to delete the row. Else, how do I just delete that row? Let's ask to chat. In this case, I just don't want the row to exist at all. I actually don't know how to do that. What is it that you're working on? Is it some TS learning app? So it's just like a stock searching app, essentially. So it's going to allow you to like natural language search through stocks, to be like find stocks with where the stock price is over this and they're in the tech sector or whatever. Oh my gosh, it changed so much. Okay, let's evaluate. What did it just do? Why did it do so much? Let's just undo that. I don't like that. All right, so we've got data. I just want to, I don't want this to be null. I want it to just not exist. Results. For every row. Let's say, okay, I think what we need to do is say, no, not that. One thing I hate about cursor is I want to use tab to like tab, not to like, how do I just get over here? Okay. So what I want is to say const new row equals that. Actually, let's do this. There we go. but let's not include these: date first added and founded. New row, date first added. I don't really care about that. Row type. Come up here. Row type. Make these optional. Okay. New row, date first added. And then down here, new row founded. All right, I think that should work. Did we cook? All right, now we need to return new row. Not the prettiest thing I've ever done, but I think that should work. Let's clear this out again. Run it. And delete all the documents again. Here. Add documents in again. Now we've got 505. I guess, are there 505 rows? It seems a little odd. I guess so. How do you feel about Tailwind? Do you use it? Honestly, I don't like it that much, but I do use it just because I've just sort of accepted that it is the thing that people use. I don't love that it results in having tons of your CSS information in the JavaScript code or in your React code. I don't love that, but it's fine. And it just like muddies up the React return, I feel like, but it's fine. Tech stack, we're using Next.js with Typesense. You seem like the kind of person who enjoys coffee with rain. I do live in Seattle, so you're not that far off. I'm curious why there's so many. Let me check here. How many rows are there? Okay, yeah, there's 505 rows, or 6, but the first row is S. Okay. Sounds good. We got them all. Okay, so back to our little steps. We set up our cloud cluster. We added data. Now let's add search. So let's come back over here. So essentially what we want is something like this. All right, so let's say let's see, what do we want to do here? Use this feature. Cloudflare worker at Google from natural language search query. Is this a serious project or just testing out Gemini 3? Mostly just testing out Typesense. we are using Gemini 3 a little bit, but I'm not really using it that much. I'm trying, because like Gemini 3 could definitely just look at this and do it for me, but I'm trying to not do that. Okay, so let's see how this works. All right, let's add a really basic search bar to the UI. Actually, let's kind of gut this UI almost completely. So let's go to here. All right, so let's say I'll use Gemini for this. All right, so on page.tsx, remove on the home page.tsx, remove everything but the upload button, then add a search text input and a search button. So I'm not sure. There's sort of two ways we could go about doing this. That was quick. We can use this, like this sort of built-in thing, or it seems like we can also use the way the car search works, which seems like it is sort of doing it more manually. But I think I'd rather just not do it manually. But I haven't actually tried doing it not manually, but we'll see how it works. Okay, so did this finish? Yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh, my phone, when I said let's see, my phone thought I was trying to talk to Siri. All right, so this works. Does nothing. Perfect. Keep that. Good enough. All right, now. Actually, let's come back. Rather than doing that, we might want to use like a library to give us a better input field. Let's actually follow along with how the cars thing did it. And then maybe if we have time, we'll do it this way. Because I think it's going to be easier to follow this along. So let's do that for now, actually. I think that is smarter. Well, I'm deciding if we want, so if we go to Typesense for a second, decide if we want this, where it's like the instant search. So like chicken and it's like instantly coming up. I'm deciding if we want that or if we just want, we type it in, we click search, and then it does all the LLM stuff. I don't know which one we want. I kind of want the second. So I guess what we have is fine. So let's just make a endpoint for it. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's make a new endpoint. All right, so let's go to these docs. I don't love that this is all showing me the instant one is better. I think it feels more responsive. Yeah, but I mean, I kind of want both, but I don't know if we have time to do both. Although the instant one is kind of like the thing that Typesense is more known for. We could do both real quick. We could do both. And I want to do this. All right, so we need something like this. And we're going to need an OpenAI key, which is fine. But where, let's see, what is, looking for like the way to do this with JavaScript. All right, what I'm going to do is take this and have it just convert it, basically just do it for me with JavaScript. All right, so let's copy this guy. Did that copy? I think it did. This might be a little bit of a dumb way to do this. We'll see if it works. Let's come here and let's say create a new post endpoint that takes in a search query and returns results. Let's come. Actually, I don't know if that's exactly what we want. I think we want like this. It should do something like this curl request. And returns results using that's fine. Let's just see what that makes, and then we'll edit it manually. That'll give us like a boilerplate, if that makes sense. Well, at Meta, did you work on improving React? No. The React team is, if I recall, it's actually not that big of a team. So no, I never worked on React. I worked on like privacy stuff. You worked at Meta? I did. Have we come full circle on this channel where there are people watching who no longer know that I worked at Meta? Because it was like a meme when I first started making content that I said like ex Meta engineer in like all of my videos. Like a dream job, to be honest. Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was kind of my dream job. Like I really, really enjoyed it there. And yeah, it was a great place. So far, I'm not that impressed with Gemini 3 Pro, to be honest. At least within Cursor. It feels like it's kind of doing a lot of things that are beyond what I would want it to be doing. You no longer work at it? Yeah, I left in 2021, I think. I left a long time ago. I've been doing YouTube full time for a while now. Such a big company working like 8 hours a day. How'd your day look like? Since there's so many of you? I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect, I think. Like get to work. Usually in the morning, there's some kind of like stand up or something like that. And then in the so I gotta have stand up, then I'd usually go write some code for a little bit, maybe have a few meetings, go to lunch, have a few more meetings, write some more code. Kind of all it was. You left Meta, really? Yeah, I did. Well, to be fair, I left Facebook. I never worked there while it was called Meta. Okay, so client server true, create the NL search model. This corresponds to the curl request. All right, well, this is at least a start. It did something. I mean, it didn't do all that. Okay, well, there we go. NL search models. Creates. Takes in a schema. And this is where we have all that stuff. Okay. Okay. So instead of putting the body in here, we don't need all that. Go here. Oops. And let's copy basically this. JSON, but it's fine. Format that. Like this, like that. ID, we'll call this stock search model. Model name, GPT 4.1. I need an API key, so let's say GPT API key. I'll get that in a minute. Sure. I don't know what we want those to be, so that's fine. Okay. Optional custom system prompt. All right, so we'll add a system prompt in a second. Searches. Response structure. Okay, so it's. How do I tell it? Okay, so this is just going to create this. So we actually need to do this once, I think. That's fine. So the possibility of getting into big tech nowadays is like below zero. It went from a dream job to an impossible one. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's a lot harder. Making it impossible doesn't take from being a dream job. Honestly, true. It kind of makes it more of a dream job, right? Like, going to the NBA is statistically speaking almost impossible, but it's a lot of people's dream. All right, so let's update the system prompt. I'm going to have, let's see an example of a system prompt they use actually. The system prompt. I don't even know if I need the system prompt. For now, well, I guess. Yeah, let's try the system prompt. All right, so let's say add to chat. Write a system prompt. Give it the instructions. Here are the instructions for doing this on the docs. Our model is being used to search through our S&P 500 CSV. So it should understand that. It's easier to believe it's impossible and just move on. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. To be honest, I think I thought it was kind of impossible at one point. When I was like when I first applied to Facebook, I first worked there as an intern and then I worked full time. When I first applied to the internship, I literally only applied because I just happened to be at the career fair. And I think they were like giving out t-shirts or something like that or some swag. And I just wanted the free stuff. I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this. And I did it anyways. And obviously it worked out. The data set includes fields, symbol, security, sector, industry, founded year. Use this context to interpret queries about industries, locations, or company details. I think that's good, at least for now. Okay. Nice. So this should create the model. I'm curious if we come over to our cluster, is the model like, yeah, natural language models. So I could literally have just done this here. I need an API key actually. Let me get a GPT API key. OpenAI API. Let's see if I can manage to leak this. Log in. Oh, not ChatGPT. I need API platform. Continue. What model were we using? GPT 4.1. API keys. Let's call this Typesense. All right, I just made a new API key. So now I need to add it to our environment. Come on. Let me bring this over here. All right, so we can go to env, GPT API key, that. Bring this back. We can go like that. Were you front-end engineer or full stack? I did mostly front-end engineering work, but my actual job title was just software engineer. So I did some full stack stuff. Oops. That was almost dangerous. What did I just click on? Okay. So that should create that. All right, so let's go to our, eventually I'm going to move this out of here, but for now, I'll just run it this way. So let's go upload button. Where's our just homepage? There it is. Like this, add to chat. When search is clicked, run the create model the horrible name. Let's just rename this. Rename search. Update the imports. Validator. Why is that open? Don't save. search. Okay. When search is clicked, run the search post request. What types of projects did you have on your resume that got you into Meta? Not very many. I try to think when I was actually applying there. I was a teaching assistant for web development. And then I had done some hackathons. Like I did a hackathon and I built this like sort of medical related project. It wasn't great. Like this is not what I told it to do. I don't actually really like Gemini at this point. All right, let's switch. Let's try GPT 5.1. Run the search post request. Do not change the backend code. Just run it how it is. I don't like when it tries to assume what I wanted and just like do a bunch of stuff. Like it started updating this to be actual search instead of just creating the model, which is not what I asked it to do. But that's okay. Invalid character. What is going on there? Okay, I fixed it. Handle search. Search. Body. We have our query. Sure. We're not using it yet. Like, why did it add this comment? You don't need that. But that's fine. I don't care about that. Keep it. All right, so let's run this and it should make a model. Click search. Did that run? I don't even know. Oops. Not what I wanted to click. Terminal. I have no idea if that code ran. So did it run? Disable. I don't think it did anything. No, definitely not. All right, let's go to our search route. Let's say console.log the body and then console.log here, just to make sure this is like doing something. Search. Do I need to have something here? I do. Great. All right, so now we should have over here. Nice, we have a model. Stock search model. All right, to use the model, add one of the following parameters to your search query. NL model equals true. NL model equals one of the ideas from below. All right, cool. So now what I want to do, let's actually move this. Let's say function create model. And we're not actually going to need to run this again. So let's just move it. Take this useless comment with it. Well, we need that too. Function async. There we go. Good enough. So now we can get rid of that. We still need the client. Const query is body.query. Now let's say client search query. I don't know if we need this query by. We might. Let's get rid of that, but let's add NL model ID, stock search model. Result. Okay. Let's go to the front end real quick and see what we're doing with the results. Handle search response data. Okay, so it goes there. All right, let's just try this and see what happens. All right, so let's just say tech stocks. Failed to create model, request failed, no search field specified for the query. Oh, okay. Also, we need to update error searching with model. Failed to search with model. Okay. What did it say I need to do? No search field specified. Okay, maybe I need the thing I deleted. Probably do. Or I need this. Security, sector, industry, headquarters, symbol. Sure. We can also add founded and date first added. All right. Server said field founded should be a string or string array. Okay. How do I see like what it sent? I think I need to maybe update the model. Let's actually just do it on here. Can I? Can I edit this model? Yeah, let's just edit the system prompt. And founded year. Let's see. How do I? Actually, I don't even fully understand this. It said founded should be a string or string array. But isn't it? We go back to our database, the collections, stocks. Founded, isn't that an integer? It is. Why is it saying it should be a? You know what, let's just not use founded right now. Try again. Tech stocks. Date first added should be a string. All right, let's get rid of these ones that are not strings for a second. All right, there we go. Hits. Well, we got nothing. 0. That's not great. All right, let's just try something like super specific, like NVIDIA. All right, this one, it did find a hit. So I think what it needs is more. I think the system prompt needs more information on the data. So like I said, tech stocks, and it's like if we go to like NVIDIA, it's information technology. not. So I think what I need is like a list of sectors. So it knows. Yeah. What I'm going to do is just paste this into here and say, give a system prompt that explains the following. That let's just say, give a list of all sectors and and a list of all sub industries. Oh my gosh. How was the technical interview? What was it like? Some impossible level leak code challenges or something else? No, I mean, I didn't think they were that hard, to be honest. But I also went through the intern track, so the intern interviews I think are generally easier. Is that the MERN stack? Not really. We're just kind of using Next and Typesense. Do you do any sport? I played tennis in high school. I played basketball for a little while. I've been trying to get back into tennis and then a lot of pickleball, but I kind of messed up my arm, so I can't really play right now. Kind of sad. All right, so here's our sectors. So let's go to our system prompt. Here, over here, edit. Say, here is a list of all possible sectors. Figure out what the user means when they describe a type of stock. Is this like literally a code editor? No. Is this going to let me save it like this with like new lines? I guess we'll find out. And what was the other thing I asked for? Sub industries. This gave me code to run. That's fine. I'll just do the sectors. All right, so let's do that. Update. Line 29. Okay, so this. Let's just do it this way. Like that. A little bit annoying. All right, let's do this actually. This big brain move. Now we need to make this all in one line. Do. This might be the least efficient way I could have possibly done this, but that's okay. Real estate and utilities. All right, there we go. Update. Model updated. All right, now let's come over here and say tech stocks. Search. Still no hits. What if we said information tech stocks? This one gets hits. That finds 71. So let's go back to the model. Let's see if we can be more broad with it. Here's a list of all possible sectors. Figure out what the user means when the type by choosing the sector that matches closest to what they said if they chose a sector. All right, so now if we go to text docs again, still found 0. Let me make this bigger so y'all can see it actually. So here's our results. And if we do information text docs, 71. All right, how do I make it be smarter? So let's say, let's just give it an example. E.g. tech stocks information technology sector. Literally give it the exact example I'm doing. See if it can be a little smarter. So information technology, we get 71. And if we do just tech stocks, still get 0. Let's make sure that we're actually running this and like, we don't need to rerun that. Tech stocks. What we just said, tech. Okay, so if we just do tech, it actually works. And we get 80 tech companies. Wait, so that works. So it's when we have the word stock in it that it's doing something weird. So let's go to our system prompt. Ignore the word stock or stocks, e.g. tech stocks, tech information technology sector. You have to be so specific with LLMs for stuff like this. All right, so if we do tech 80, we do tech stocks like we were doing before, still 0. What if we did, out of curiosity, tech founded, oh wait, we don't founded. What other columns do we have? Tech headquartered in California. Now we're down to 77. What if we did like Texas, 38? Those two things should add up to that, but they don't. I'm curious. It's where's founded, highly secure. Oh, that says Texas in its name. All right. Anyways, tech. This kind of works. We can work on the system prompt a bit later. For now, it does work. So let's take this response and put it on the screen. All right, so let's see. Let's go to our page. I don't want to spend too much time on the front end, so I'm just going to have the AI do it. So let's say on handle search, once it gets results back from Typesense, put them on the screen in a nice way. And let's say let's just see what it does. I don't know if it's going to be able to do this without more information or not, but we'll see what it does. Do you know Djokovic? Yeah, we're basically best friends. I know of him though. Yeah, of course. I'm from Serbia? Nice. Have you tried out Laravel with Inertia and React Stack? I've not. Are you using Mongo? No, we're not. So we are using, the database is basically just a CSV file, but we are putting that CSV file into Typesense, which gives us a bunch of cool searching functionality. Okay. Cool. So it seems like it did something. Let's just try it. Say tech. Nice. What if we did information technology search? Oh, it's only showing the first 10, even though it got more hits. Oh, wait, no, hits is 10. Found is, what is the difference between found and hits? I see. I was looking at the wrong numbers before. I might be a little dumb. What's the difference between found and hits? Or is that just because I only asked for 10? All right, so let's say keep all. Num results. Say the maximum is 505. That's not the actual name of that. That's hilarious. I just made that up. Search parameters. Page per page. Let's make this infinite. I can just do per page 505, and then we're going to get all of them. Oops. I don't really want to deal with pagination, so let's just say per page. Actually, let's just say 506 so that it always includes everything. Tech. Failed to search. What just happened? Huh? Only up to 250. 250 is the max. Fine, 250. There we go. All right, so let's say something like tech stocks or tech companies headquartered in Dublin, Ireland. Nice. I mean, these aren't all tech companies. I guess they all have these have tech in their name. We're definitely getting there. Sector. I mean, some of these are tech, some of them. All right, so let's go to our system prompt again. Oh, wait. Use this content. Here's a list of all possible sectors. Let's do that. Figure out what a user means when they describe a type of stock by choosing the sector that matches closest with what they said if they chose a sector. E.g., tech stocks is information technology sector. Ignore the word stock or stocks. E.g., tech stocks is tech is information technology sector. Try this for a second. Update. That's still giving us the same thing. What if we said just tech? If we got rid of that. 80. Information. Are these all information technology? Or this is like tech in its name. Information technology. Tech in the name. Tech in the name. Industry, healthcare, technology. Okay, I mean, that's working pretty well. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's working pretty well. We could work on the system prompt a little bit. We could do some refinement, I'm sure, but that's not bad. Honestly, it works pretty well. Okay. Back over here. What else did we want to do? We did that. Check. We did that. We did that. We did that. We haven't done that. We kind of did that. All right, let's add the other data, I guess. Do I even want the other data? Oh, we never got founded to work. So let's figure out why that's not working. Founded and date first added. Let's say founded after 2000. Failed to search, and it's going to give me that error. Request malformed. Field founded should be a string or string array. Why does it want it to be? Why does it want it to be a string? It's not a string. I think. Collections, stocks. Oh, can I not? Can I not query by? I mean, it doesn't even let me do it here. Founded. Oh, I guess all I can do is like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I guess we don't even really need that. That makes sense, y'all. All right, we don't need that. But let's see if it works. If we do like symbols, out of curiosity, if I said like symbol starting with in, which obviously is not very useful. I'm just curious if it's going to work. Not entirely. Are you in California? No, I'm in Seattle. Do you think I should start using Next? I only use React right now with Superbase, Firebase, or Node.js sometimes. I mean, Next is, especially if you want to work at like a startup, it's what most people are using. Try the variable inertia react. Yeah, I mean, you can use that too. Yo, gotta go to the club. It's like 10 p.m. here. How to do programmer's biggest sin? Try to talk to women. Oh, have fun if you're serious. All right. I mean, this works, but it doesn't work. How do I want to be able to see the query it's making. Can I do that? Is there a way to do that? Oh, wait. I can do inl query debug equals true. And I can see it, I guess. Debug true. All right, let's do that. And then let's come over here. What happens when I do like text docs? Oh, something's broken. Really? Tech. There it goes. Oh, I might need to go here, here, response. How do I see? I don't actually know how to use the debugging thing. Oh, LLM response. Parsed inl query is what I should have. Parsed inl query. I don't see that. I need to refresh this. Tech, search. I need to restart the server. Maybe. Go tech. Huh. I mean, it is working, but why don't you ask ChatGPT or Claude for it? See if it helps. I mean, shouldn't need to for this. Oh, it's because I didn't. Wait, no. Console.log result. Okay, not result. We want to do result dot parse inl query. Undefined. Am I doing that wrong? In development, use inl query debug true. That matter? Let's try that. Oh, here we go. Parse inl query. There we go. So when I do tech, we're getting sector information technology. Nice. All right. So what if we do tech? So let's do All right, so that seems to be working. What if we did companies founded after 1980? 2 results. There should be more. Parsed in L query. Founded greater than or equal to 1980. I mean, maybe that... There's no way it's all of them. There's lots of them. Let's try something else. Let's try HQ in Texas. Okay, that worked. Founded's a little funky. Maybe it's because it's like an integer or whatever. I need to work on that. But HQ in Texas, tech companies. Are there none? Tech companies in Texas? Okay. Interesting. So this gave us... Oh, y'all probably can't even see that. What am I doing? I got an idea. All right. Now you can see it. Cool. Okay, so this is what we get back in that debug mode. Oops. Or parsed in L query. This was the actual LLM response filter, information technology, headquarters, location, Texas. And we can see generated programs, information technology, and headquarters, location, Texas. Nice. Wait, can it sort these for me? Let's say tech. Let's just say tech again. So that gets us. Cool. And let's say sorted by founded year. All right, so that's bringing back nothing. Why? Clearly, oh, it might not be able to actually do the sorting thing. I am learning what I can and cannot do with this. We probably could find a way to use AI to do even more, but I think this is like a really good start. All right, so tech again. Let's do well, what happens if I just say search? Oh, it's not gonna do anything. It doesn't let me search. All right, what if we do all? I'm just curious. Yeah, it gives me basically everything. And we have it limited to 250. So that makes sense. Nice. Okay. This is working. I like how even the best devs just try things they don't even fully understand and see if it works. Just like us. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of how it goes. Okay, so we have the search working. That's pretty cool. We could say, what else could we search for? Let's say, pharma companies in, oh wait, let's say healthcare companies in New Jersey. Search New Jersey healthcare. New Jersey healthcare. Healthcare, New Jersey. I mean, If that's not working, I don't know what is. That's kind of cool. Okay. We're cooking a little bit now. We're cooking. Okay. Hold on. Need to check that. All right, cool. We're good. So let's come over here. Let's try using some of this other data just for the fun of it. So let's come here and say, let's say create a new CSV file that combines sp500.csv with sp500 underscore 2025 underscore h1 underscore wide clean.csv. We want all of the data from sp500.csv. From the other file, just get the first opening price. Actually, let's just get the last closing price and volume. I think that's fine. Add those to the main CSV as price and volume. Or to the new CSV. See if that works. Could you try a different LLM with search and see what you get? I could, but then I have to make new API keys and stuff. It's kind of a pain. I think we'd get basically the same thing because from what I was seeing, the queries it was making were essentially what I was wanting it to make. So. Do we think this is going to work? Because this would take me a solid 20 minutes to do this in Python. Can GPT just do it for me? Done. Okay. See. All right. Symbol. It's got everything and it's got price and volume. I mean, looks good to me. It looks good to me. Let's, oh, what did I just do? Oh no. Oh my gosh. Back over here. Let's go to upload. Let's go price number, volume number. I don't know if there's missing data, so I'm just going to make these like that. All right. So now come here. Price and volume we need. Drop price and volume. And then let's go down here and add price and volume. Seems good to me. Run that. Oops. Run that. Refresh that. Process the data. Now if we come back to our cluster and we go to collections, oh, now we have 1,000 stocks. Not great. Wait, hold on. delete documents, delete. All right, deleted everything. Oops. Go back over here. Do that. Oops. 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 This one. Collections. All right, now we have 505 again. And do any of these actually have prices? No. Doesn't look like it. All right, price and volume. Oh, I'm not parsing the new file. CSV file path. I don't know what the point of that is. We don't need that. All right, so let's do S&P 500 underscore with price and volume. Save that. Back over here. Well, it's actually that. Run that again. Come back over here. Delete documents. Delete them all. Goodbye, documents. Come over here. Bing, bing. Press that. Oh, we got an error. Upload failed. No such file. SP500 with price. There's no and. Love that. All right, try this again. There we go. Process. Bing, bang. Come over here. Collections. 505. Price. Volume. There we go. Now if we go here, I don't think it's on the UI, right? All right, so let's do a few things. Let's first of all add our search. Let's go price and volume to search. Hopefully it lets me do that. Let's see if I do. Actually, before I do that, let's just add it to the UI. So let's say add price and volume to the UI when showing hits from search. A stupid idea, but we're learning here. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't meant to be some giga useful application. We're just trying to learn together. We're learning. How hard is it to code a searching algorithm by yourself? Like if you're trying to make your own version of like Typesense, very, very, very difficult. Although it's open source, so you could fork theirs if you really wanted to, but it's not going to be easy. What is stock search? Yeah, it's just the idea of being able to search for stocks by like natural language, basically. We're just kind of trying to learn about natural language searching. Okay. Apparently it changed the UI. I'm just going to trust it on that. Nice. We have a price and we have volume. Cool. All right. So let's say tech priced over $100. So some of these have price. So that did not work. That just straight up didn't work. All right. So let's see. Come here. Generated params. I don't know if it knows about the price. What if we did that? What if we added price and volume there? Is that going to work or is it going to give us an error? Yes, that gives you an error. It's going to do the they're not strings thing, right? I could not find field name price in schema. What? What now? Oh, I think it's because when I... Oh. We need to go back here. All right, now price is there. Docs. Actually, let's go collections. Is price on here? It is not. All right, so that is interesting. Didn't I run this or did I not? I mean, it looks like it did. Let's let's delete all the documents for a second again. Love that. And then on that, when I do that, doesn't add it. That's annoying. What if we comment that out for a second? And do that, and then do that. And then I could also just delete the collection and recreate it, but we need to delete all the documents again because my code is dumb and doesn't check if there's documents. All right, saved. All right, now if we go to collections, oh wait, we now have price and volume, which is good. But now we get price must be a float. Okay. So I can put this back, I think. All right, so price must be a float. Parse float. Parse int. There we go. There we go. Now we have documents. We have prices. And we have founded. All right. So now if we come back here and price over 100. Does that work? Failed to search. All right, so we need to remove from, that's what I thought. I thought we couldn't do this because they're not strings. We gotta get rid of those. If we just do that, is it gonna work or no? Well, let's see if this works for other stuff. Tech. There we go. Say volume over 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See what it actually just made. Volume is greater than. It seems like that should work. Huh. How can I deploy my own server? Which site do you recommend? I mean, server for what? Depends what it is, but you can use Vercel, you can use AWS, you can use like Google Cloud, or you can use Azure or whatever. Or, yeah, it depends what you're doing. People who are able to code that kind of stuff really have Einstein level IQs. I don't think that's necessarily true. At least not always. There's just a lot of people who spend a lot of time on a single thing. Can you suggest a C++ project add to my resume to get C++ related jobs? Do whatever's interesting to you. Like, there's not like a one best project for your resume. It's just like do the things that are interesting to you. All right, so let's see. So it seems like I can't use these numbers. So let's actually ask GPT, see if it knows. Or we could just look at the docs. That's probably smart. So like this has price less than 50 and that works. What is this data? Yeah, so those are numbers. And then under 50, and it's got name, description, color, category. Okay, so that's not even in there. Huh. So I don't really understand why that's not why. Like if I do like price over 100, search, it gets nothing. But the query it makes seems correct. So the query it made seems reasonable. So out of curiosity, does that work? Kind of. It got all state because of all. That was weird. All right. Anyways, the price over 100 doesn't seem to do anything. What if we do tech again? Tech price over 100? All right. So when we do tech price over 100, we get sector, information, technology, and price is greater than 100. Is there a way to just query this on here? Yeah. So I can't filter by price because of something. Do I need to make that a facet? Maybe. Let's try that. Maybe I need to use facet. Oops. Facet true. Let's try this on both of those. Do the same thing on founded. And date first added, I really don't care about. So we'll just leave it. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure if it will, but I'll try it. All right. Run dev. Let's come back here again and go to delete documents. Oops. Delete all documents. Come back over here. Process. Done. And now if we go collections, stocks. All right, so now we can do that. So let's see if this works now. Now if we do price over 100, search. All right, still doesn't work. Parse and now query, price greater than 100. What if we do like tech price over 100? Does that work? No. what it gives us. Generated params. It gave us filter by sector, information technology, and price is greater than 100. All right, so that seems right. Just didn't actually work. The price. What do I need? What if I just save this as like? Oh wait, no, I don't need that. Okay, not what I wanted. Stocks. I just search like that here. No. Is there like a way to search in here? Word documents, collection settings. I would like that to work. Are engineers responsible for creating those kinds of algorithms, or is it someone else's job? Stuff that complex, I think, is a mixture of engineers implementing it and like researchers like researching what the algorithm itself should actually be. But it's not like that's one person's job. So price greater than 100. I mean, that's what we want. Just isn't working. Make sure this works for just random stuff again. Tech again. Tech in Dublin, Ireland. Okay, so that works. It is simply our numbers that we cannot seem to query by. Let's go back to the natural language search. It's not the one I wanted. I wanted that like car example again. Or was it? Natural language. No, that's not what I want. Where was that link? I have it somewhere. Natural language. Is this? Here we go. So it uses like integers. It doesn't have facet true here, which I think is what actually makes sense. Filter by, sort by. All right, so this is what we were getting essentially. For facet enabled fields, we can supply facet values to the enum values column by making a search. Facet by field. Generate Typesense query. Okay, system So this is basically what we're doing, but this is just built into Typesense now, so you don't actually have to manually do all this. I'm just curious if there's something. I'm not sure what we're doing wrong with the price, to be honest, but it is working other than that. So honestly, that might be a problem for another day. Because other than that, it does work. What is Typesense about? Well, glad you asked, because Typesense is the amazing sponsor today. So Typesense has sort of a few things that they do really well. So lightning fast open source search. So we could search something here like this is recipes. So if I start typing in like chicken, you can see this thing is updating basically instantly as I type. So if I start adding more things, it like essentially instantly updates based on the things I'm typing in. So that's what Typesense is really good for. Typesense Cloud is what we're using over here to sort of host our data. So we have this data, we're using stocks and this is sort of the data that I updated or that I uploaded. So that's kind of what Typesense is. But we are using it for AI search. So we come over here, we can see our search is sort of AI based. So we could say healthcare companies in Texas, search, and you'll see it'll give us a healthcare company in Irvine, Texas. I guess is the only one in the database. If we did something like New York, maybe there's more of them. There we go. In New York, we can see there are 4 healthcare companies. I want to use it in my e-commerce website. Don't laugh at me. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. It's if you need search, like I think it's one of the best ways to do it. Okay, so let's see over here. Let me take a look. We had our little list of things to do. I think we honestly did all of it. Steps. Yes, we added the second CSV. We created some little UI. It's not beautiful, but it works. So yeah, I think what we should do is, let's see, is there anything else we want to change on this? Or should we just go ahead and end it here? There are obviously bugs to sort of work out in this. It is not perfect, but sort of the point of this stream was to showcase Typesense, to show how good it is for stuff like this. And if you wanted to, you could get really complex with it and have something like this. So newest sedan. So like this is a search for cars, and you can see this is the sort of thing it's actually searching. And yeah. Curious if we do like Ford 2020 or newer, search, filter by make Ford, years greater than 2020, query is Ford. I guess there's nothing that comes up, but we do just Ford. There we go. I'm curious, does theirs work with 2002 or newer? Maybe this is just like a thing that's not supported right now because this is a brand new feature. No, it is. Theirs does work. So I'm curious. So year 2002 to 999. What if we said MSRP over 27,000? Might look at their code for a minute and see how this is working. MSRP greater than 27,000, and that seems to work. Let's take a look at the code for this. Oh, they also have pagination going, overachievers. All right, so let's look at their code. I'm curious. Where was it? That's not it. It's this. All right, so if we go here, let's see what they got going on in here. Is this where the CSV is? Nope. source app with GenKit got going on in it. And so here's their like big ol' query that they have. So here's their schema as well. So MSRP is a number. Object, query, filter, and sort by. All right. Bugs, but there's nothing in red color in the ID. Yeah, I mean, there's not like a actual. I mean, there's not a. What would you call it? There's not like a actual error in the code. There's simply a couple things not working perfectly. But I think for the sake of time, we might want to say it works well enough at the moment. And I'll also link to, I'll put this in the chat right now. So here is, oh, how do I put this in the chat? Over here. All right, so that is the guide that we were just following. And if you're curious, oops, to follow along with their example, it's here. So there is their much better code than code I wrote. And yeah, so it does work. Works pretty well. The one bug we have right now is prices aren't fully working, but I might just fix that later on because I need to. I don't think it's like the most interesting content to watch me figure out where I made a mistake in the prices. And everything else works pretty well, and it still shows up the prices, which is, I think, important. So if we did something, show a few more examples, what could we do? Let's say companies in Florida. All right, so it looks like there are 16 companies in the S&P 500 in Florida. And we could also probably just search by like a company name. So if I just did like NVIDIA, I would assume it comes up, right? It does. NVIDIA Corporation. Cool. So yeah, we have search that uses AI to essentially find stock stuff. And let's say one last time, let's do, say, tech companies in California, which is basically all of them. I guess it's 30 of them. Interesting. All right. What exactly are we doing today? We're doing what I just showed. We built this little search application where I didn't even spell California right, and it still worked. That's cool. Nice job to Typesense. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's because there's like that AI layer and the AI was able to interpret my lack of spelling ability. So yeah, so essentially with Typesense, what you can do is you can do these super quick searches or and I guess you could do both of them at once. You can do something like this, natural language searching, where whatever I type in here gets sent off to, in this case, we're using GPT, and then the result gets created, or then it creates a Typesense query using GPT, and then that Typesense query gets sent off to give us all of the results. And what's really cool is this scales really well. So this is a pretty small data set, but if we had a massive data set, it would still work, which is, yeah, pretty cool. So big fan of this. make sure to check out Typesense if you need search in your applications. I do think it's a really good way to do it, and it works very well. So yeah, big thank you to them for sponsoring this stream. And thank you to all of you for hanging out and coding this with us. I'll answer a couple questions. We would like more code with me streams, like actual real world projects. Yeah, we'll be doing more. I enjoyed doing this, and I enjoy building. Like, I want to have like a couple really big projects that we work on over the course of many streams. Maybe we'll come back to this one, even if Typesense isn't sponsoring it again. Or maybe we just build some other bigger projects. So I want to do that. That is like on my to-do list. It's hard for me to like fully commit to it, but that is a thing I want to do. Is Typesense similar to what Fuse.js fuzzy search is? Yeah, in a way. It's not the same. So really the core competency of Typesense is this. It's the very fast search. So it's not so much the fuzzy search part. It is sort of fuzzy. What happens if I spell like chicken wrong? I do like that. Yeah, so it is essentially fuzzy search also, right? Like, well, actually that's like how what if I do like, okay, so I suppose there might be options in their docs for fuzzy search, but if you look at this, it's not really fuzzy search. Like, that's not the core competency of it. The core competency of Typesense is fast search. So it's autocomplete that is very, very quick. So you can see as I'm typing, it is updating what it is auto-completing to and giving me all these options. And then sort of this newer thing that they have is the AI-powered search, where you can search with a natural language, where you don't have to say the exact thing you're looking for. You can just say something sort of close. That's not really fuzzy search. Fuzzy search is more about you spell something wrong and it still works. With natural language search, you're going to get fuzzy search because the LLM is going to understand when you misspell something. But more importantly, you are getting the ability to just search in a natural way. So you can literally just say something like find, in this case, we're using stocks. So you could say find tech stocks in Texas, and it understands what you actually put there. Yeah, it's a little different than fuzzy search, but similar concept, I guess. It's fast, but behind the scenes, is it the same logic, giving weights to the words? I mean, I don't know. I haven't like looked through Typesense's like code base. It is open source, so I don't have a deep understanding of how like they managed to get this so incredibly fast, other than obviously they're using a lot of like very advanced indexing. So this is sort of document based. So each one of these is essentially a document, and they're indexed in whatever crazy fast database thing that they've created that allows you to find it very quickly. The layer of AI does not exist in what you're looking at here. The layer of AI exists in something like the car search, where you are doing something that is natural language. This does not have an AI layer to it. But yeah, when you do something like this, as an AI layer to it, and you can use something like GPT, or you could, and that would require an API key or an API call. And that's why this, when you search, actually takes a minute. So I change that. You'll see it takes a little bit. That's because it's not actually the Typesense part that's taking a while. It's the call to the API, to the AI API. But it would go much. But yeah, so if you just like put this into Typesense, it would be basically instant. So the thing that's taking time here is the AI aspect of it. So you can have the AI aspect of it and you get something like this, or you can use it without AI and just get this like very, very fast autocomplete essentially. And yeah, you could run that AI locally and maybe that would be faster, or you can just use GPT or Claude or whatever. Okay. That is that. And I guess also Typesense has the Typesense cloud aspect to it too, where this data is sort of stored in the cloud by them, or you could do it locally without needing to use their cloud platform. But the cloud, as we saw, super, super easy to use. Okay, great. Thanks. I'll check out Typesense. Sounds cool. Yeah, definitely should recommend it. It was pretty easy to get started and going. I mean, we've been live for 3 hours, but a good portion of that time was me talking to Chad and everything else. Like realistically, it took me like an hour or two to get where'd it go? To get this working, which doing this without Typesense would have taken me a very, very, very long time. So yeah, pretty good. Big fan of it. Next session win. Oh, y'all, you're giving me homework. You're making me actually stay committed. I will say, I leave town in 2 days, and I'm out of town for a week. And then when I get back, I'm only in town for a few days again, and I have to record a bunch of videos in that time. So realistically, and then I probably end up leaving again for the holidays. So I don't want to commit to things I'm not going to do. I will hope that there will be a stream between now and then. But what I will say that I will commit to is once we get to the new year and things sort of settle down a little bit after the holidays, I will commit to doing streams more frequently. Until then, hopefully there'll be maybe one more stream between now and then, but I can't really fully commit to that. We want more coding streams? Hey, I appreciate it. These are so much fun. This is one of my favorite things to do. Next session, creating a wrapper around ChatGPT or Claude to provide some solution by creating agents around specific workflows. Yeah, I mean, we could try to do something like that at some point. I think that could be fun. Okay, with that said, thank you all so much for hanging out, watching. Thanks again to TypeScript. Thanks again to Typesense for sponsoring the stream. And yeah, I'll put some links down in the description if you're watching this in the future. And there's also some in the chat if you want to follow along with some of the things we did. Otherwise, I'll see you all very soon in the next video and have a great rest of your day.